Welcome back. Our closing moment on the show today, and we have, as usual, our Artist of the Week. Now, not many of us know that this Nigerian-born, UK-based actor has been in the make-believe industry for 40 years.
Sounds like he's an old man.
He sounds like an old man, but actually he started as a child actor on the NTA. What's that show now? As a child actor in NTA Battle.
Why worry the Baba?
Yeah.
Why worry the Baba? Never the show.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember, but he's sitting there, so he'll tell us the name of the show. Okay. Wale Ojo. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very, very well. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Sitting down here, what's running through my head is that soap, the series you have on
African Magic.
On African Magic,
Yeah.
Meet the Adebanjos.
Meet the Adebanjos,
And how
yeah.
you're coping with living in the United Kingdom, being a core Nigerian, a Yoruba man to the core.
Very difficult. And having to bring up my children who are thoroughly English.
And their mother who's still battling whether to be a Nigerian or a
Their mother is, in fact, she's completely confused. So.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, as a child, you started out in NTA.
Yeah.
That's what we were told.
Yes.
So
it's true now. There's
it's a make-believe industry, so confirm for us.
Yeah, no, it's thoroughly true. I started out at the age of about 7 or 8 years old with NTA Badam. You know, working with people like the late Sam Loco and Tunji Fatilewa, Akin Lewis, Olamide Bakari. The list goes on and on. Yeah.
But so your journey's been a long one.
It has, yeah.
And then you went to the UK, and you're still making statements.
Yeah.
At the London Film Academy, you have a project running there.
Yes.
Steady.
Yes.
What would you say it's been like for you? Because you're laughing.
They were plenty. Yeah. It's been a long journey. It's been very inspiring, very rewarding, very, very interesting journey, you know. And the most interesting part of the journey has been when I decided to have more of a base in Nigeria, you know, than abroad. Yeah, that was when the journey became even more interesting.
Why?
Because I came back around full circle, you know.
Okay.
I started here and I must come back here. The plantain must come back to the root. You know, I believe in traditional wisdom. So if I could speak it in Yoruba, I would speak it in Yoruba, but I cannot. My Yoruba is not that good. So yeah, so it's kind of like coming back home full circle. You know, my first love of acting was nurtured here with NTA Ibadan, you know, the first television station in Africa. You know, so and all my childhood heroes like Baba Salah and people like that, you know, I loved very much. You know, one of my favorite films is Ogunde's films, Efusheto Aniwura, all those kind of films. I grew up watching those films. You know, so when I went to the United Kingdom, it's a completely different kind of mindset, different kind of movies, you know. So I kind of placed in a unique position to be able to imbibe both cultures. So I'm thoroughly Nigerian, and at the same time I can be thoroughly British.
And you're a thorough lover of Shakespeare.
Completely, totally. And Shoyinka too, of course.
Okay.
Both WS.
Okay. I love Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually in secondary school we did a play, Macbeth.
Yes.
We did a bit of that. I'm still trying to remember.
You know, there's a superstition with that play.
What's the superstition?
You know, you're not supposed to mention the title.
Ah.
Yeah, you're supposed to say the Scottish play. It's not that you mention that you have to stand up and turn around. That's the English juju for you.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, but being African, as you say, to the core, and yet being English to the core.
Yes.
Is there a possibility of adapting some of those your favorite plays by WS over there?
Yeah, the WS
over there.
Yeah, I did it actually. I adapted Hamlet,
okay.
William Shakespeare's Hamlet, and I called it Jagun, Prince of Oyo, instead of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. So instead of, the story of Hamlet is that the father is killed by a snake in the garden and is killed by juju from his the king's younger brother, which is like could be any folk tale from Oyo or Ife or Ikiti. So I just totally transformed it. You know, I didn't change the language, but I just, you know, I just changed the adaptation, the environment. So at the beginning of the play, at the beginning of my adaptation, thunder falls from the sky. And as you know, thunder is the principle, is the power of Shango, which is the god of justice. And so Shango is seeking justice at the beginning of Hamlet. So that's how my Hamlet begins. And then it takes off into a very African world, but the language is thoroughly Shakespeare.
Okay. Now, if you, let's look at what would, you know, capture your fancy if you see a script as an actor. What would you go for?
Danger. I love danger. I love action. You know, the more stunts, the better. I love to do my own stunts. I'm a physical actor. I've been trained to be a physical actor. So I like to jump on things. I'm looking at things in the studio where I can.
Really, can jump. Don't worry, we'll prepare for you.
Yeah, you know, I do. You know, I chin-ups, acrobatics, well, you name it. Yeah, I like that. I like a physical part, a role.
So how many of those physically demanding movies would you say you've done since you came back?
I don't get that many. I don't get that many. I wish I got more. I have a few, but not that many. I get more like, I get some father figures, not all the time. I get a lot of, I get a few villains, you know, which is nice, and the odd lover, you know. I wish I could have more of the lover.
We'll come back to talk about that.
you.
We'll come back, but let's just go back a bit. You know, tell us about your background, where you're from, your education.
Yeah, well, I was really brought up by my mother, who was a close friend of Zulu Shofola. And Zulu Shofola was one of our leading playwrights, you know. And she formed a group called the Ibadan Players in the early 60s. So I was brought up really at the University of Ibadan Theatre. I was there really every day because my mother acted in the plays, along with people like Femi Johnson, you know, the great Tunjo Yelano. You know, they were all part of the Ibadan Players. So I was I spent a lot of time in the female dressing room with my mother and Zulu Shofola and everybody. And I remember a play called Wedlock of the Gods. I don't know if you know that play. Okay, I might be going way back before your time. But Wedlock of the Gods, in which it's a play about love. So it's a bit like an African Romeo and Juliet, you know. And in the middle of the play, Ogwama, that my mother played,